In today's episode, we have some announcements to make. Karaba takes a look at the dollar index, and I take a look at setups on EURUSD, EURAUD dollar, and the US indices, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. As always, we have some action from our Discord trading room. Enjoy.
Welcome to another episode here with FX Price Action Setups. We got a very exciting episode for you guys today. Not only do we have some great setups for you guys, we also have a few announcements. Firstly, we've come to the end of our Sniper Challenge, and we will be announcing the winner next week in a special Sniper Challenge episode. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that episode. Also, we'd like to officially welcome TradingView into our team. TradingView has been so impressed by our community that they wanted to get involved. And personally, I'm quite pleased to have them as part of our team. I've always been a great fan of TradingView, and I believe that you can't really be professional without the best tools. And TradingView is certainly one of the best tools out there. Yeah, they've also been kind enough to sponsor some of our contributing members. EXE, FX Patriot, Mntungwa, Korabu, Andile. You guys, that's part of the community, will know what great contributions they've made to our community. So we're glad that we can give a little back to them. Right, but to celebrate this partnership, we've announced a new event that'll be open to everyone. So let's see how that's going to work. Right, as you guys can see, this event is going to be called the TradingView Trade of the Week, and this is going to be open to everyone in our Discord trading room or on our Facebook group. Now, what you'll need to do is open a TradingView account, either a free one, or you can sign up using the link below to open a free 1-month trial for the pro version, and just share your setups in our Discord trading room or on our Facebook group. And once the setup completes, you can also post the after photo in our Discord room, in our before and after channel, or you can post the after photo on the original thread in the Facebook group and using the hashtag after. Now, please be sure to save or bookmark your original post, as we need to see that original setup for you to qualify. Every week in our weekly YouTube episode, we're going to be featuring the top trades of the week, and we will be announcing one winner every week. At the end of 5 weeks, we will take the top 5 setups, and we will let our community vote for the best setup, and the winner of the TradingView Trade of the Week will win a 3-month premium subscription sponsored by TradingView to the value of $180. Now, we are also going to be adding some additional prizes throughout this event, and we'll announce them during next week's episode. But yeah, if you guys would like to take part, remember to share those after photos, hashtag after on the original thread, or in our Discord trading room in the before and after channel.
Good day, traders. I would like to go over this interesting setup on the dollar index. Now, we've previously broken this trend line. We had created these two valleys, and when this trend line breaks, it confirmed our downtrend. We currently have these two supply zones which are created above, so we cannot go against them. So something to look out for, it is for a retracement back into this supply zone for a potential selling opportunity. Now below we have this demand zone. So what we could have, it is price dropping into this demand zone. We could get a potential counter move or a full-blown reversal. So you might want to take your profits before hitting this demand zone. Now, if I could go to the monthly time frame, because there is a nice pattern forming which I would like to show you. What is very significant to me, it is this bearish engulfing candle. So these patterns are highly respected. So we had previously this bullish engulfing candle, and price respected it and it rallied away from it, and we had this one over here, which engulfed this candle. Price respected it and it went up. We also have this one over here. Price rallied. We currently have this demand zone. This is the one which I have also marked on the daily. So you might want to be careful of going against it, because what could happen is the price could come back, retest it, and it shoot up. Like I mentioned, you might want to take your profits before hitting this demand zone. So if price manages to break through, so there is a lot of room for price to drop if we could break above. So this is something to look out for the week when doing your trading decision, looking at the USD pairs. So that is my outlook for the week. I hope that you have enjoyed the video and chats.
All right, the first chart I want to discuss is that of EURUSD. Now, a little while ago, I shared this comparison chart between silver and EURUSD, and it's setting up in a similar fashion, and I'm expecting a similar kind of move. Now, just jumping back to the EURUSD chart here on the weekly, I got two different types of scenario. Now, the first scenario, after this market had this consolidation, the move up, and then the slow grind down, the first scenario I have is that in line with Karabu, where the dollar has topped, which means the euro dollar would have bottomed, and that we're just going to head up higher from here. Now, this is the less likely scenario, but we're going to have to watch price action for this. And the reason this could be the low is we did come down all the way to this 50% retrace level of this whole consolidation. The reason that's important, that's more or less the average price of this big 3-year consolidation. And we're going to have to watch price action to see if we have a bit of a corrective pattern here, then perhaps this lowers in and we'll end up going higher from here. However, the second scenario, and the one I think is a bit more likely, is that we're going to just make one more dump to these lows. And the reason for that is because I'm expecting such a big move, I do expect this market to take some form of liquidity. And we haven't reached any form of liquidity. And the next level is only, I've marked this down here, 1.08392. So I do expect one more down move, one more shakeout before we have this big move. And I can also switch quickly to the dollar index. And just looking at the dollar index, one move higher would also get us to this liquidity here, which is also exactly the 100 round figure on the dollar index. And that will also be this little level over here, this pivot level or QML level or whatever you want to call it. So I do think that we will have one more shakeout before we have this big move, and then we'll go lower. This is sort of my first resistance, but I do actually expect this market to go lower into this little level over here. So yeah, quite a big move we're expecting, but for now I'm going to be looking to get short this market, and hopefully we get to run this liquidity down here. So just switching to the daily time frame, as you guys can see, we did reach this resistance level up here, and we did run some liquidity, and now it looks like we made quite a strong move down. And like I said, the one scenario is maybe we make a bit of a corrective pattern, or else the move that I'm expecting is to move straight down to this liquidity level that I marked off. So what are we going to look for next week? If you were in the trading room this week, I did post this little short setup, and we did get a nice short right up here. But hopefully next week we'll have another chance to enter the market, and I'll be looking for a bit of a correction, at least to perhaps this liquidity level before adding to the shorts and going lower. And then we'll see how the price develops, and hopefully if all goes to plan, we'll go much lower. Now the next chart I want to look at is Euro Aussie dollar. This is in line with the Euro USD view that I just discussed. And I did cover this setup last week, and we were looking to get short this market. We didn't get to the level that I was looking for, but perhaps this week we can get short this market as well. Now I'm not going to discuss the whole setup. You can look at last week's episode if you want to see that. But in short, we had this little ABC move up, and we've never taken this liquidity, and I believe now we're going to at least come down to this liquidity over here. Now, next week, what I'll be looking at is a move again higher in line with the Euro USD view, up to at least a 68% fib into this area where we will be looking for some short setups. And ideally, this pivot level over here and this daily order block is the level we'll get to before we can go short this market to these levels down here. So yeah, still on the watch list. So one I'll be focusing on next week. All right, next up, I want to look at the US indices. And again, I think we covered it last week or the week before, and we were looking for higher prices or to get long. Unfortunately, we never got the entry we wanted, but the price is going higher as we expected. But however, this market is running out of steam, and I believe that there's going to be a big correction soon. And as you guys can see, just using a MACD indicator, for example, we had this slow grind up with a big divergence before we had the big drop on both indices, and we've got similar kind of divergence busy setting up here, and I believe that this is going to lead to another big correction. Now, the correction I'm expecting is at the very minimum a bit of a expanding flat, so that is quite a big correction that I'm expecting, and possibly even lower to make a bit of an expanding flat. Which on the longer time frame, if you go back from the 1980s, there should be the fourth wave correction before we have the final move up, and then the much bigger correction. So this should be in line with sort of the recession in 2007 and in 2000. So quite a big move down that I'm expecting. So one I really don't want to be missing. Just dropping down to the daily time frame, you guys can see that this market is forming a bit of a three drive pattern, which is quite a decent reversal pattern to look for. And I think I got some examples of a three drive pattern somewhere in the YouTube channel. But basically, what you're gonna look for is sort of a similar extensions for the second wave and the third wave. Now, and again, we have got the same thing happening on the S&P 500 and on the NASDAQ. Now, as you guys can see, there's also some decent divergence busy building up over here. Now, I've got here on the S&P, I got this wave marked in green, this wave marked in blue, and this wave marked in red. And we got sort of we got big fib confluence coming together here around about the 3,100 level. So ideally, this would be the level I'm going to be looking for shorts next week. Maybe not next week, but sometime, hopefully, before the end of this year, we will manage to get to that level. And in a similar fashion on the NASDAQ, we're sort of looking for a minimum extension of the 113, but ideally the 127 extension. And this area comes in around about the 8,200 area. So yeah, hopefully we get to that area, and once we get there, I will share my entry technique, and it's based on something I learned from Michael Huddleston, which is a little bit of a lower time frame entry where you watch all three US indices, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, and you sort of look for divergence on a smaller time frame. Perhaps the one making high highs and the other one making low highs, and that could be your early indication. And with this technique, I've managed to catch the top of every major sort of drop in the last 3 years. And hopefully, if we can catch the top on this one and ride it for the better part of a year or two, that'll be a great trade to have. So this one I'll definitely be focused on. I can't, obviously I don't have an entry right now, but as this develops more, I will share my entry in our trading room. But yeah, good luck, guys, and I'll see you guys in our trading room.